The Gewehr 41, a short-lived rifle that saw combat during the Second World War and bears testament today as an artifact of Nazi Germany's absolute desperation to field a semi-automatic rifle and issue that to their beleaguered frontline troops who were fighting on all fronts. It was quickly replaced by better designs and was often discarded in the field in favor of other weapons altogether. Few were ever made, and today they are highly collectible. I never thought I'd own one, but I found one for sale that had significant issues. So this is the G41. This is the one that I bought, and these are the photographs of just what it looked like as I got it. The first issue is that somebody had cut off the comb of the butt. So it looks like somebody had just taken a saw and just cut the metal butt plate and the comb of wood that sticks up behind underneath that butt plate to hold it in place. They just cut it straight off. That's something I immediately noticed. I also noticed that there's like this massive amount of black paint that's kind of like flaking off over here, and what looks like silver spray paint overspray. And then we're coming up here, and what actually had happened was there's two screws that go through the trigger guard and magazine assembly here, the trigger guard assembly that hold the receiver and the trigger guard in place, and it sandwiches the two pieces of metal onto the stock, keeps it there. Those screws have been lost at the time of this photo being taken, and somebody looks like they used duct tape to wrap this thing together and keep it in one place, keep it in one piece. I'm noticing significant corrosion on the cross bolt, but I'm also noticing that it doesn't look like it's been sanded, and that is an unsanded stock. So that told me that even though this stock had been definitely messed with, it hadn't been sanded, which honestly is more important to me than the comb, because that can be repaired and hidden. The paint can be stripped off, and if it's unsanded, then those markings are still there, and that's important. And then we start getting into some issues here on the front of the rifle. Somebody had cut this thing to make it into a sporter, and you can see that somebody had just lopped off the front of the stock. The metal looks okay, heavily patinaed. The magazine body is missing. This bolt is just frosted with rust, and all of these parts up here are missing. The op rod that rides on top of the barrel, and the nose cone, the front sight hood, the all of the nose metal, the rear band, the front band, the retaining nut for the cleaning rod segment. Another significant problem that I noticed with this G41 was that it was missing some vital operating parts. It's missing both the screws that go through here. It's missing the middle screw and the retainer assembly that goes through in the middle of the trigger guard. And most importantly, it's missing its locking lugs. I don't know why on earth somebody would remove those. That would essentially turn a full power rifle into a blowback, which would be disastrous if you tried to shoot it. I think somebody just took this apart and lost a bunch of the parts and let it sit in their shop for a long time. That's my hypothesis. Up here, you'll notice that the rear sight pin, retaining pin, is all bunged up, and probably that doesn't even look like a proper pin for the rear sight. It should be a solid pin, and that looks like a roll pin that was just beat to shit. Ugh, it's tough looking at these pictures because it's just so daunting. That is how it looked when I decided to buy it, and I took a gamble on it. But as I hope this series will show, I could see that this rifle had significant promise to be brought back and be an excellent collectible G41 once again. Well, thank you so much for watching this introduction video to my Gewehr 41 restoration process. This is going to be an entire series, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you can see the updates as they're posted live. I'm going to be going through this considerable project, hopefully so that we all can learn how to save these kinds of artifacts from just decay and destruction. Hopefully we all can learn from this process. So subscribe and follow this channel, Modern Military History. Check out the website, www.modernmilitaryhistory.com, for regular updates on this process. Thank you so much, everybody. See you in the next one.